Greetings, fellow villagers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Primitive Society Simulator, Episode 2, A Modest Village. So I think once Tanuki has some winter clothing, I will send Tanuki on an herb run. Is a main builder recommended? Yeah, probably. Right now, Matic is our sort of main builder, and what I could do is I could have the skills split. So it's not just Matic. So Matic will prioritize crafting over building, and then I could have someone else prioritize building over crafting. Like, Lisk. And people have more than one role, so like Lisk is a hunter and builder. That's fine. And that will help us to get the chicken pen and the flooring and actually, now that the rocks are out of the way, I can also put the roof over the storage. I might be blocked from the other roof. Oh no, it should be okay. Here we go. So here is the chicken pen coming in. Maddox's still working on clothing, which is good, because people don't like to be naked. And then once I have the corral up, I will start to capture chickens. And chickens eat berries. Of all of the creatures to domesticate, chickens are not my favorite. They require a fair bit of micromanagement, and they also eat berries, which is something that you also eat, so you compete, essentially, with chickens for food. With that said, all of my berries just spoiled. I didn't get the roof over the stockpile built in time. And we just gained the gathering endowment. So we have gathered 1,000 food, and the next step is to start farming, which is a fair bit of the way down the tech tree. So what I can do here is just mouse out and capture chickens instead of killing them and hunting them. So once you have the food corral, there's also this where you can take all the eggs as food or leave all the eggs and have them hatch. So you can breed them or use them for eggs. So that's a very important slider to know about. We are up to 5 of the... I'll do a minimum of 8 clothing, because we have 8 people. I'll probably want to raise that. So here we go. Now we have some chicks in the pen. Being dropped off. So we already have a breeding pair. And I'll probably just take all the eggs, so that... any eggs that are laid by the hen are just used as food. And there goes a lot of our starting meat. Not that I am worried, because it is very easy to hunt, especially in the spring, summer, and fall. Sartastic Turtle, thank you for the bits. And you're not too late. So Tanuki does have clothing. So, oh, and we just had new discoveries. Perfect. So we just discovered enough crafting and building to build a bridge and to make raincoats. So the person that I want to invent raincoats, so here's what you do. Once you reach the threshold, you then designate an inventor for the specific thing, and anyone can invent it. And you can see the contribution of knowledge towards the community. So like Maddock has been the one to be crafting. So I'm going to have Maddock be the inventor of the raincoat. And then the other person that I've had building is Lisk. So I am just going to choose, and it doesn't really matter who does it. What matters more is that they pass this knowledge on to the community. But I'm going to designate Lisk as the inventor of the bridge. Now, for the next few days, what's going to happen is at the communal bonfire, they will talk about their new inventions with the other tribe members, and then eventually fully invent the thing. So I can't build the bridge yet. It's not been invented by our inventor, but essentially the seed of knowledge has been sown, and they will communicate it with others, and then eventually I'll have access to that. The other thing I wanted to do is to send Tanuki out to search for herbs. So if I hit the search for herbs tab here, I can select Tanuki, and then I want to load Tanuki up with meat. So let's have them deployed for maybe just 4 days, where we'll gather herbs, and unknown crops as a starting trip. And what they do is they'll just grab the meat that I've designated to them and then leave. And they'll head out searching the surrounding area for herbs, and unknown crops. And you'll be able to see them. There they are. So if you want to recall them early, you can hit recall. And what they're going to do is they're just automatically going to wander around the home, collecting things that are useful. Aren't I supposed to feed the chickens? Yes. Let's assign, actually, that's a good point. Let's assign a rancher. So Dwarvenation, I'm going to have you be our animal husbandry person. And they're going to collect berries and feed the chicks. 3 male, 3 female. There we go. A little bit of food. And we have this little like herb team is will be heading back to the tribe in about 4 days. So here they are talking about the inventions they came up with, Maddock and Lisk. They're sharing their invention of raincoats and bridges with the others. The others don't yet understand, but they're interested. We only have one more winter clothing to make, and then we'll catch back up on the tools. So the other thing is, I'm being warned that this is an overcrowded corral. There's too many animals in here, so I'm going to do a little bit of calling, especially of the males, because the males don't lay eggs. So chicken 2. The one, there is, I don't know if it's a bug or intended, but if you designate an animal to be butchered and they don't get butchered that day, their butchering designation tags will disappear the next day. It might be a bug, I'm not sure, but that's one thing I've noticed. So when you're butchering, if you don't get to it, you might have to redesignate. Which just happened to me, because it's a brand new day. So I had designated chicken 2, but I have to redesignate them now. So let's get finishing up some of the construction. Maddock is back to making tools because the last piece of clothing has been manufactured. The other thing that we could do is to set up a clothes stand. So I'm going to set 2 clothes stands up next to the clothing area. And then I'm going to set up a few weapon racks near the crafting table. So the clothes stands can be set up to store clothing more efficiently than just putting it on the ground. And then the same deal with the weapon racks. Oh, the herb team just found herbs. Do they have stats? Yeah, they have intelligence and vitality stats, and then a bunch of skills. Still no relationship yet. So on these meat racks, I'm going to say it is the highest priority to dry out our food so that it doesn't go to waste. So now our hunters are going to bring fresh kills to the racks. The other thing is, like, I'm almost out of food, so it would be good for me to either hunt or butcher to fill up our food needs. So I'm going to hunt the sheep that are in the map tile. There's not many, but there's enough. The roof over the stock room is going to keep the meat fresh. So now its loss is 14 a day rather than 20. And we also have a fruit dryer, so I can also tell the people to dry fruit always, so that any berries that we have are stored. So if we take a look at the creations here, there's a spreading the idea. And there's a bar here where it says who's inventing it and how far they are towards inventing it. So another night or two and they should have it fully invented. Oh, well, or now, I guess. So the raincoat and the bridge have been invented. So one useful thing for me to build would be the bridge. So here is the natural land bridges on the river. There's one here and one there, but to get to this area of the map would be a very long travel. So building a bridge here helps to shortcut getting to this area of the map quick. It's probably the only bridge I would need right now. Yeah, so build that bridge. And then once we are caught up with manufacturing all the tools that I had queued up, actually we are just needing a little bit of rope. I'm going to queue up the cloaks, because the cloaks, or the raincoats, is going to protect us from the weather, from getting wet. So I just queued that up as well. The current priority is create cloaks and collect more food. Hauling to the meat task is its own task. That would be food preparation. So we can also pick a cook. Jazz Lover, I'm going to make you our cook. So here's Jazz Lover moving the meat to the racks. Not that we have a lot. But Rager, Dwarvenation, Jazz Lover are all trying to fish. One thing that will also help is if I got a fishing tools workshop. for nets and harpoons. Hydrate if it helps with my voice. Sadly, it doesn't, but cheers anyway. So this is what we look like now. Getting a lot of stuff built. On these clothing racks, this one I can say only hold cloaks, and the other one I can say only hold winter clothes. It's the two things that we know how to make. So now there's dedicated storage, and you can see the number assigned there as well. So I can see I've made 2 cloaks so far. Now, here are the weapon racks. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So for now, we really only know how to make flint spears. So I'm going to clear the priority for all the other racks. They're just being built for later once we have access to different weapons. Wandering barbarians. You've discovered someone wandering nearby, holding weapons and appearing to be searching for something. Unlocks a mission, conflicts, and exchange. Who are they? So, there are going to be periodic attacks from these wandering barbarians. And the first attack is going to come year 1, winter 10. So we have about 2 seasons to prepare, just shy of 2 seasons. And they're going to be showing up with 2 pillagers equipped with flint spears. So I know that that is on our horizon. So you can see a lot of the chicks have matured to hens and roosters. And they're running out of berries, so it would be good for me to designate a gatherer. So I'm going to have Rager be my designated gatherer, but because gathering resources is something that like kind of everyone can do, I'm not going to deprioritize it for others. Okay, the team, meaning Tanuki, has returned safely, and they have returned with an unknown herb, an unknown crop, 6 regular herbs, and some berries. So this brings us to a new type of research mechanic, I suppose. A seed table and an herbs bench. I don't need to use them immediately. I would like to get rid of these 2 stone nodes before I use them. Being warned, I have a lack of pickaxes. Queuing up more hunting. It would be good if we brought our food up a bit. So Zeuson's getting that going. These were juvenile, so they weren't meaty per se. There's also some uncollected stuff out there, so I can micromanage it and tell them to bring it onto the racks. By just right-clicking on it and going collect item. Bunch of new discoveries. So pottery, slings, and scribing knowledge. So the designated inventor for scribing knowledge, let's do Cathanon. For pottery, It could be... Jazz Lover. And for a sling, go with maybe Zeusin. And we are pushing up our crafting knowledge more than everything else because we're crafting a lot of clothing, tools, and also doing a lot of building. Once I have these stones removed and I can build a kitchen, I will show you the crop and herb mechanic. But yes, it is possible for people to get sick. So now they're all sharing their knowledge here. With the fishing tools workbench done, I'm also going to have harpoons, which will allow our fishermen to fish a little bit more effectively so that we can feed ourselves better. So I'll probably micromanage Maddox so that Maddox doing that. Also, one of the chickens is hungry. Oh, Lisk. Maybe I'll have Lisk do it. There we go. So we're making harpoons and raincoats. Tanuki is collecting berries, and I'll queue up more berries to be foraged. And I'll tell Jazz to... I might want another forager. No, I probably just want to hunt. Hunting is a pretty efficient way of fulfilling food needs. Although there's nothing to hunt right now, but there will be soon. With the harpoons rolling off the line by Lisk, the amount of fish that we'll gain per day will go up a lot. And none of my people are hungry yet. And if you're wondering, the game gives you about, I think, 3 days before starvation really sets in. So it's not, it does give you some time to address. So although the food in the chicken feeder trough is empty, that chicken did eat some berries. Some of that was delivered. Yeah, more berries just got delivered. And sooner or later what will end up happening is these chickens will then start breeding and laying eggs, which will help. And also, our brand new bridge, making it much easier to get to the other side of the river, which is awesome. And a lot of our people are using harpoons. Oh yeah, we just actually collected some eggs. So we got the cloaks made. The next priority is build a kitchen tent. So once these stones are removed, I'll get that going. Maybe I'll have a harpoon per person. Fishing is a pretty easy way to fulfill food needs. We did just actually eat everything that we had in storage, so someone might go a little hungry. Pottery got invented, so that unlocks the clay pot and the kiln. The sling got invented, which unlocks the sling, which is a ranged weapon, and scribing knowledge for a bone scribing table. The bone scribing table is a very important crafting spot. Put that right there. Now the kiln is important, but we don't really have the ability to make anything out of the clay that is going to be meaningful right now. Clay pots are used for cooking, but cooking is over here undiscovered. So I don't really need to make the kiln. It's not until I discover cooking. But what I will do is I'm going to reduce the amount of flint spears that I make and instead make slings. So I'm going to have 3 of our people use flint spears and 5 use slings. Cheers. And then on this weapons rack, I will prioritize the slings being stored. So, Tanuki, I want you to grab a spear. And then Dwarvenation is going to go for a sling. So I'm going to have one of the men with slings and then all the women with slings. Essentially, we invented pots, but we don't know what to do with it exactly. That would be correct. Doing a quick check for hunting. I think we kind of just murdered everything out in the wild. Which is okay. There's plenty of fish. So now, Maddock is making slings out of rope and flint. And once I have them constructed or crafted, I'll equip them. We almost have the rocks removed for the kitchen too. Oh, did I just make and not maintain? Yeah, that's true. Let's maintain 5. And I'm going to move it above the rope queue. Alright, Dwarvenation. Equip a sling. So Zeusin is hungry. We did have one person go hungry. They're not at risk of necessarily dying. We just need to make sure to provide enough food tonight. And the kitchen area is done. So I'll start with a shed over it. Maybe I'll add a little space. Construct the shed. And then in here, I'm going to want the seed table. And the herbs bench. There was a pop-up. Oh, I'm being attacked by a direwolf. So, selecting people, shift adds them, control can add or remove. And then there's a command button over here, which is essentially draft, and I can tell them to run here and don't move. To basically go there and stand still. So, after this fight here, I am going to need to build a soothing bench. But here is our direwolf. Dwarvenation is slinging. Tanuki, Zeusin, and Lisk are fighting. Hunting skills gone up. I can undraft them. So, the soothing bench. I might build a small tent for that, like a med tent. And let's place that here. Getting smaller than that. So a soothing point is a place that allows for people that have been recently in combat to be sort of calmed down, and I'll show you the status effects from that. And then the med beds are when people need healthcare, they can go there to be tended to. So if I take a look at my recent fighters, they have a negative mood modifier, which is that an animal had gone mad, which is a disturbing thing to have happen, and they all have it to some degree or another, and they're going to need soothing in order to recover from that. It would recover over time anyway, after, roughly 3 days, but it's easier to soothe them. So I have Tanuki set up to be the medical care and soother, and I'm going to add one more person to that as well. I will add Jazz Lover as another soothe and medical care. Is friendly fire a thing? Not as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but I haven't seen it. We're collecting a lot of berries in order to keep us fed. And yeah, the game is, I don't know a game that's quite like this one, but it's similar to the other sort of settlement and survival games, like RimWorld or Going Medieval. Alright, so Lisk is building the med tent. So here's the soothing point, and Lisk is standing there waiting to be soothed. Jazz Lover comes over and goes, yeah, that was a rough fight. And then we take a look at Lisk, and the modifier for the mood has been halved as a result. Okay, food is definitely going back up. We're about 180. So now that we have the herbs bench, the herbs that we collected on the search for herbs can be turned into healing potions, and then the herbs themselves can be tasted. And tasting herbs will grant you knowledge about herbs, but you have a 1 in 4 chance to get poisoned. It's not fatal, but it will harm you. And the same is true of tasting unknown crops. It gives you knowledge of foraging, and you have a 1 in 4 chance to fall ill. So, I like to have my herbalist and forager sort of be the same person. So, Tanuki is going to be that person to focus on both herbs and foraging. Specializing our people. Yeah, essentially mushroom licking, but, without death caps. Oh, and we have a quest. Plain Hill Tribe wants to learn about dog. So, they want us to bring 5 bone tablets about hunting. And completing this quest will improve our relationship by 3. Increase our knowledge about foraging by 100, which is a lot, and also give us prestige. So taking a look at the foraging tree here. Here is foraging, and increasing it by 100 brings us into knowing how to forage wild millet as another food source, and then also making millet porridge and berry soup. Although we don't have cooking yet, but that would be pretty significant. So let's do that. The current priority right now is to trade with, what were their names? Plain Hill. So in order to create the tablets, we need 1 bone per tablet. And I'm going to queue up 5 of these. And the person best suited to inscribe knowledge about hunting is going to be the person that has the most hunting skill. So if I take a look at my colonists and go to hunting, which is here, my best hunter would be Zeusin, I think. Yeah. So Zeusin, once he's awake, is going to then be given the task of inscribing these bone of knowledge for hunting. And then once all 5 are created, I can send one of my colonists out to then deliver them to fulfill the quest requirement. So I need to dispatch a team to deliver this within 14 days, or I won't get there in time. And it's about 4 days away. But Zeusin has decided to sleep in a long time tonight. And everyone's getting soothed now. That's probably the last soothing we need. The berry dryer is a very loud object, if you were wondering. So what I can do here is I can just tell Zeusin to start working on the bone scribing, to cue him up to say, hey, this is your task, and then to cancel a sign so that the process has started. You dude should go to sleep. So here is Tanuki. Tanuki is eating the unknown herbs. So if we take a look at Tanuki, his herb knowledge is 5. And once he finishes this, it will go up as a result. So it's gone up 10.1. That herb was poisonous, which is unfortunate, because that means I am going to need to consume potion, because I'm now sick. So health went down as a result, but the potion has negated any further negative effects. While I'm up, I might as well taste the unknown crop. See if it's poisonous too. See if I'm lucky. 2 for 2. And it was not. So I leveled up in foraging, but didn't get sick again. So if you take a look here, if I try to take the potion, no one needs to take it. A new discovery. Lobster traps. Nice. The person most skilled in fishing would be Cathanon. So I'll designate Cathanon the inventor of the lobster trap. And I just finished the natural endowment of fishing. So catch 1,000 fish and create a harpoon. So the next one is to build a lobster trap, build a fish pond, build a fishing net. Those are some technologies I don't yet know, but hope to. Right. I'm having Zeusin now spend time scribing. We have a decent amount of food available to us, so our hunter can just scribe their knowledge about hunting. And it does take a while. It takes like 12 days, or 12 hours per bone tablet. Berry dryer sounds like a blast furnace. It does. I can actually pause it. I don't really need to dry berries. Most of the berries go straight into the chicken feeder trough. But now that our hunters and fishermen have harpoons and ranged weapons, you can also see that our food amount has gone up as a result. We are just more capable of collecting. And I'm filling in the flooring for the med tent and the kitchen. So we're about to finish the first bone of knowledge. And Hathanon is sharing his concept of a lobster trap. How old are these chickens? They're still young. At some point before they become elderly, allowing them to lay eggs that we don't use for food is useful so that they can perpetuate their population, so I don't have to capture new ones. Thank you for tuning in to Primitive Society Simulator, which originally streamed live on Twitch, February 13th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode of an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow cavemen.